Game number 7. Welcome to the Budweiser Gardens. OMAC Mortgages, London Knights Hockey on Rogers TV. London Knights entertaining the Barrie Colts in the last game of the OHL season. The winner of this contest gets to go to the Memorial Cup and play in Saskatoon, already starting on Friday, so they won't get a lot of rest, whoever wins between Barrie and London. Let's go upstairs. Oh, ice level already, getting ready to play here. Game number 7 at the Budweiser Gardens.
And the official printers of our London Knights. Joining me at ice surface level, we welcome Vice President Brett Houston and Sales Manager Jeff Lagoda. At this time, I call on the captain of the Barrie Colts, Ryan O'Connor, and the captain of our London Knights, Scott Harrington, to join us for our ceremonial puck drop. Oh, and as agreed, once again, we thank tonight's game sponsor, AE Graphics Group, the official printers of our London Knights. We want to thank them for those amazingly loud clappers that we love to hear. Hockey fans, East Park is the proud sponsor of our London Knights anthem program. At this time, we ask that you now please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, to be performed by London's own Jason Kaler.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh,
One of the greatest excitements in all of sport is when opportunity meets head-on with preparation, and that is exactly what we have here tonight as we embark on Game 7 of the Rogers Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Budweiser Gardens. Alongside Jeremy Parking, Rick is on assignment tonight. I'm Greg Sloan. Game 7, Jeremy, probably one of the biggest games that ever of these young men will ever play.
Yeah, it certainly is, Greg. One of the biggest games either of these goaltenders are going to play. Jake Patterson gets the start tonight for the London Knights, 2-0 so far this postseason with a 3.82 goals against average. On the other side, it's Matthias Niederberger going for the Barrie Colts, 15-5-0, 2.59 goals against average, 927 save percentage. Niederberger has been pulled in both Game 5 and Game 6. He's going to have to be better tonight if Barrie's going to win.
Shifley out of the lineup tonight along with Kamara, so that'll be a hole for Barrie as Bradford along with McDonald, the London native. Athanasiou, the former Knight, will start for Barrie along with Ekblad and Yule on the back end. London replies with Harrington and Zadorov anchoring the D, Anderson, Broadhurst, and Tierney up front for the London Knights. One more time, glad again you can join us at Rogers TV for OMAC London Knight Hockey. Game 7 from Budweiser Gardens. As the Knights pull it out in Barrie on Saturday night, there's Anderson whipping the shot right through the crease area. And it's dealt around the boards where Anderson will tip it in for Broadhurst. London with a 4-goal lead heading into the third period last night, or rather Saturday night up in Barrie, only to have the Colts come back and tie the hockey game. And Ryan Rupert The hero on Saturday night, a couple minutes into overtime, will prove that he has been a star in this series with 5 points in the last 2 games. There's a chance in front of the net. Oh, and Niederberger makes a beautiful save as London has recorded 2 shots on goal so far. Dealt in deep, and Niederberger will hang on.
And right off the hop, a couple of great opportunities for Josh Anderson. The last one, thanks for a good job by Remy Ellie. Got to look at it here on the replay. Broadhurst ends up going wide, puts it out in front of the net. Anderson gets a stick on it, pad saved by Niederberger, but already seen a couple of turnovers from Barrie. Got to quiet those nerves here in Game 7.
A copious amount of energy here at Budweiser Gardens tonight. Close to 9,100. Well, else would you expect as Matters drifts one toward the net. Wolichka, he's hot. As he was just about ready to record his 5th goal of the series. And again, Niederberger comes up big. Stopped up by Patterson. Will have a face-off deep in London territory.
Jake Patterson gets the start here tonight. Some questions on whether or not it would be him or Anthony Stolars in net. I think Dale Hunter had the idea, got to go with the hot hand. His numbers aren't as good as Stolars in this postseason, but he's recorded 2 straight victories, and what it comes down to is the W's. Patterson has given that in Game 5 and Game 6.
Wazat will lean in on the draw, wins it cleanly back to the line. Lepkowski, what a series he has had for these Colts. Another shot pumped toward Patterson. Then Domi will take over. Scotty Arrington around the board for Seth Griffith, who has 10 points in this series. Griffith on the left side for Domi, tries to usher it in for Griffith again. Couldn't get control of the rebound, and Domi will take it to the far board. Lemieux sweeps it onto the stick of Fawcett. He'll just string it in deep. Patterson out of his net to play it. Mermis hoists it around on the left side. Lemieux will pick that off, and Mermis will get it to line, but not out. Dumped in behind the net. Brown swings it around the boards, and now wholesale changes to the Barrie Colts. Seth Griffith, Boston prospect, trying to find Domi in across the line, but it's broken up. Scott can't get much past the London line, and Ekblad will pick it up and get it in deep. Patterson back out to play it again around the board, stopped at the line. Ekblad shot knocked down by Glatzer in front. Scott tried to tip it, and Zadorov took it away from him. Dumped all the way down the ice, and icing is called against London.
One of the big things for the Barrie Colts in this game is who's going to step up now that Mark Scheifele's not in the lineup. Get a look at Aaron Ekblad. He's a young guy on defense, but he's got a nice shot from the point. Look for him to get some time back there, fire a few shots towards Jake Patterson tonight. On forward, you know, you got to look at those guys and who's going to step up. Athanasiou or Bradford, is he going to step up tonight? You know, you take a look at Kamara and Scheifele out of the lineup. It's going to be tough for Barrie.
Talking about Athanasiou, the former Knight, 5 goals in this series. Now Bradford spinning off the checking of the London rear guard, shot toward the net. Patterson makes his 2nd save of this hockey game. Barrie on the move here. Ekblad shot, another save by Patterson as it's dealt to the corner. London will send it back out through to center ice. Anderson steals at the line, now takes a shot off the blocker of Niederberger, and Tierney will dill it back in for Anderson. London will try to get the cycle game going. Back for Tierney, on for Broadhurst, just rolls off the tip of his stick as the Knights employ some pressure. Centering pass to no avail, and Bradford will take over. Almost 4 minutes gone here at Budweiser Gardens, Game 7. Well, the Rogers Ontario Hockey League Championship Series is shot right on, and Patterson will make the save.
You mentioned it, Andreas Athanasiou has been big against his former team in this series. 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points in the playoffs. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists in this series. He's scored in every game of this series. He's recorded a point in every game, scored in 5 out of 6.
Watch for him tonight in Game 7. Now a shot right off the draw. Patterson handled that one easy. Played up on the left side. Cross-ice feed to the open wing, and Laser will tap it in behind his own net. O'Connor being rubbed out there by Wolichka. Glazer will lead a long right wing pass. Missed everyone, and Icing will be charged against the Colts.
You know, one of the things we mentioned right off the top is quieting the nerves. We've seen it a couple of times from the Barrie Colts' young defense, giving up neutral zone turnovers. London is able to get some shots off that, haven't been able to get on the scoreboard, but if they keep creating those turnovers, it's going to mean good things, scoring opportunities for the Knights in this game.
Seth Griffith, Ryan Rupert, and Max Domi employed by Dale Hunter. Knights here. Domi now swing, takes the shot, knocked down by O'Connor as Griffith swings around the boards to Hughes. In deep again for Seth Griffith. On for Domi, back for Griffith, center pass up front. Here's Rupert taking the shot, and Niederberger makes the save from a sharp angle. Flyers will hoist it in deep off the blocker of Patterson. Patterson in goal for London, and Griffith will swing it back out through the center ice. Domi getting past one man. Rupert on the move down the left side. Here's the chance in trouble, and Niederberger again makes that tremendous save from point-blank range. And Ryan Rupert has had 2 golden opportunities in the early going here. Niederberger, Jeremy seems to be on his game tonight. Griffith on for Matt Rupert. His shot knocked down by Niederberger.
If Niederberger was looking for confidence and momentum, he seems to have got it here so far early in Game 7. Great scoring opportunity from the London Knights. Max Domi comes down the wing, passes it off to Griffith. Rupert on the doorstep, but great pad save by Niederberger. Read the pass all the way, makes the save, keeps this deadlocked at 0-0. 14:37 left to go in the first.
Already 14 shots here in the early going. 8 employed by the Knights, 6 by the Barrie Colts. Matt Rupert plays it to the corner. Glatzer knocks his man off the puck. Here's Mermis, takes the shot off the shoulder, and Niederberger again as he's tracking the puck very well. Shot down the ice. Icing's waved off. Zadorov will anchor things up behind the London net. Cross ice feed. Ellie will just spank it in deep. Niederberger out to play it. Newell, who's Barrie's first rounder a couple of years back. He'll lead the 4-man assault for the Colts. Dumps it in deep. Mata being hounded there by Scott. Scott runs into his own player, and the Knights are out with it. Here's Chris Tierney. Lofts it in deep into the corner. Ekblad bumped there by Anderson. Broadhurst and Anderson on the move here. Plays it in behind the net. Anderson nailing Ekblad again. Boy, Anderson, a lot of jump tonight. He's laid out about 4 body checks so far. Back out through the center ice. Dumped in deep by Athanasiou. As the Knights netminder Patterson will play it in for Mata. Ole Mata, Sefton, right side for Anderson, too far for him, and icing will be called against London.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Greg, that Anderson has been huge so far in this early going, laying out a couple of bodies here and there. That was the one thing that really changed in a Game 4 loss for London. Through the first 2 periods, they were really physical against the Barrie defense. They let that go in the third. It ended up costing them. If they can keep physicalness going tonight, they have a good shot at taking the OHL championship.
London looking to repeat as OHL champions. Only Windsor has done it in the last decade or so. 2009 and 2010. There's a hard shot delivered by the captain. O'Connor just grazed off the blocker. Now we got a 2-on-1 for London. Here's Ferry. On for the score! 1-0. London leads.
What a playoff Bo Horvat has been having for the London Knights. Great pass from Tyler Ferry, finds Horvat. That's Horvat's 15th of this postseason, and he made no mistake. As quick as it was on his stick, it was off his stick, goes top shelf and gives the London Knights an early 1-0 lead here in Game 7. 12:47 left to go here in the first period of play.
Oh, the veteran Ferry Setting up the sophomore Horvat, who records his 6th goal in this final series. London leading at 1-0 here at Budweiser Gardens. Into the corner. Domi loses tracking of it, and Athanasiou rather hauls out with it along with Pierrette. What a game he had in Barrie on Saturday night. Mitchell Pierrette tying the game up late in the 3rd period as it rolls to the near boards. Wire can't keep it in, and it's swung back out through to center ice where Lepkowski will lay it up on the left side for Hall. He loses traction, and Griffith will wheel it back in, trying to find Domi, and he gets the shot away. Max Domi got the shot away as Lepkowski was all over him, and he might have just grazed off the base of the post. 8 minutes and 15 seconds gone here in period 1 at Budweiser Gardens.
And we're going to get our first penalty of the night here. 11:47 left to go in the first period of play. Max Domi is going to go to the box. 2 minutes for slashing happened behind the play as it looked like a Barrie Colts player was going for a line change. Max gave him a little bit of a whack, go to the box, so the Barrie Colts get the first man advantage of the night with 11:47 left to go here in the first.
So the Colts on the power play for the first time this evening. Domi in the penalty box. Colts will be looking to even the score up. Ekblad along with O'Connor on the back end for Barrie. Ekblad as the puck passes it back down to the near boards for O'Connor. A lot of Colts parked in front of the net along with Pierrette. Goes to the corner against Mata. Has a chance to clear, but it's held in momentarily. Good play by Horvat and Tierney to knock it down the length of the ice. Athanasiou, Pierrette, and Zach Hall. Up front for the Colts is Connor will hammer one in deep. Goes to the line, played over here on the near boards for O'Connor. Takes a peek, shuffles it down into the corner. Pierrette out front. Hall trying to find it. Now they score! And the Barrie Colts, Athanasiou, ties his hockey game up on the power play.
Yeah, Andreas Athanasiou does it again to his former team. That's now his 6th goal in 7 games in this series. Pierrette with a nice pass over to Hall. Hall over to Athanasiou. Wide open net there as Patterson's late getting across. Athanasiou again coming back to haunt his old team. Ties this game up at 1. Just 46 seconds after the penalty to Max Domi.
9 points for Andreas Athanasiou in this final series. And what a playoff the young man has had. Tied at 1 as we approach halfway point of this first period.
Yeah, for Athanasiou now 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points in just 21 games here in the OHL playoffs. But yeah, you mentioned it, he's just been a dynamite player here in this series against the London Knights.
Been doing it all year for the Barrie Colts. 4th round pick for the London Knights a few years back. As London opened the scoring, Barrie has recorded the power play goal. Tied at 1, game 7. Here's Platzer now in across the line along with Ellie. Trying to go wide on Brown. Shot toward the net, broken up by Ekblad. Knocked down, and Lemieux will swing it on the far side, and that's going to be called a glove ahead.
Got a look there at Remi Ellie, obviously looking to increase his draft stock here in the postseason. So far, 20 games played, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points for Remi Ellie in a London Knights uniform. Hoping to do what he can here in Game 7, increase that draft stock and lead London to a win.
Tierney, Anderson, and Broadhurst up front for the Knights. Barrie will control the draws. Mata will pick it up through to center ice. Harrington spotting Anderson, takes a bump from Lepkowski and it's dealt in deep. Hammered around the boards and out through to center again where Mata again will just deposit the puck in. Around the boards, McDonald trying to pick it up. Broadhurst flutters one to the slot area. Knocked down by the Colts D. And Bradford will be chased back as Lepkowski will take over. Cross ice feed to the open wing, goes all the way down the ice. Icing's waved off, and just chucked around the boards, and Anderson will send it back down into Barrie ice. 10 shots recorded by the Knights, 8 by the Colts in the early going of Game 7 here at Budweiser Gardens. Here's Bradford now. He'll dump it in deep. Patterson out to play it. Mata checked up. Athanasiou takes the shot. And Patterson makes the save. Athanasiou didn't get a lot on it, but a close call again for the Colts. And across the line, Kearney trying to find a man. It goes off the skate and into the corner for Broder. Forks it in for Kearney, back for Anderson. That just failed to materialize. And it's hoisted into the London bench. Tied at 1 here at Budweiser Gardens. This first period is brought to you by Oil Guard. So Bo Horvat will lean in on the draw. If you've got a Rogers digital cable box, you can catch this game in high definition on channel 369 and in standard definition on 368. That a shot. Saved by Niederberger as the Colts will lead it up. Here's the overager. Byers in across the line. He's checked up by the London D. And they bounce one out through the center ice. Off the boards, Fioret trying to spot a man. Hall charging toward the net. Broken up again by London's defense. And Horvat's on the move, trying to go in and out. Here for Horvat, taking the backhander. And Niederberger got a piece of that one. Around here on the near side. Byer hails from Orangeville, Ontario, will dump it in deep. Wholesale changes down for Dale Howard-Chuck's Barrie Colts. Tipped in as Rupert is on the move. Lepkowski will give way for his goaltender Niederberger to get up on the left side for Lemieux. And across the line with Fawcett. Mermis trying to take the rookie out, tried to spin it out front, knocked down Lepkowski. Shot goes off the stick and into the glove of Patterson.
Really, in Game 7, you can't do anything but get pucks on the net. No matter where you're shooting from, you got to get pucks on the net, especially Jake Patterson. His numbers haven't been the best. He hasn't seen a lot of action in the last month, other than the last 2 games. So shoot from all areas for this Barrie Colts offense seems to be the idea in this game.
Anthony Camara, Mark Scheifele out of the lineup for Barrie along with Webster. Here's Griffith in across the line, taking a shot. Blocker saved by Niederberger. Rupert trying to find a man. He smoked it right through the slot area. Now tap back to the near boards. Griffith fading off the checking. The Fawcett wheels it down, and he's hammered by Lemieux, and Barrie will get the gate. London to the power play.
Yeah, Lemieux's going to go to the box here. 2 minutes for checking from behind for number 21, Lemieux. You see it. Got to look at it here on the replay. On the left side of the screen, you're going to see Seth Griffith dump the puck down in deep, and Lemieux delivers the check right there. You see Griffith go head first into the boards. 2 minutes for checking from behind. London gets their first power play of the night.
At the line, here's a chance. Broder shot right on. Big save, Niederberger. As Mata will swing it here over in the near boards for Domi. On for Seth Griffith, back in for Domi, centering pass for Horvat, hits a skate, and right onto the blade of Ekblad, and he'll hoist it down the length of the ice. Rolly Mata will get things organized for London. Griffith, cross-ice feed, picked off by the speedy Athanasiou in across the line. Better watch him. He can score short-handed. That shot goes off a player and dumped back in. Patterson out of his net for Mata. 13 minutes gone here in period 1. 1-1. Game 7 of the Rogers Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. Bounced off the boards and back out through to center ice. Ole Mata. A little head fake off the skate of Griffin. London having a little bit of trouble, impeding the Barrie zone. They have about 50 seconds remaining in their power play opportunity. Right side, Scotty Harrington. He's checked up. And McDonald will take over and all dead.
Yeah, the London Knights can't seem to get much going on the power play. Their first power play opportunity of the night. 45 seconds left to go in the minor to Lemieux. 6:26 left to go here in the first period as we see Eric Bradford return to the bench for the Barrie Colts. Went to the dressing room for an equipment adjustment, back out. Going to be huge. Can't miss any more guys if you're the Colts here tonight.
Tierney being watched there by Byers. Barrie doing a good job here on the PK. Stemming off London at the blue line. Now it's dialed in deep. Back Glad peppers it around the boards and finds an alley. And Patterson out to greet it. London maybe one more chance on this power play. 19 seconds remaining. And Lemieux back out. Welichka hums it in deep. And Zadorov off the bench will play it to the corner. Ekblad checked up. Bradford trying to clear the zone. Tierney all tied up in the corner with Rupert. Finally, Tierney sends it loose. Here's a chance for Welichka. He's knocked down. And Lemieux out of the penalty box accepts the pass. So we're back to 5-on-5. Not much happening there in London's power play, at least at that moment, as it's hoisted onto the near boards, and that almost went out of play. As Bradford labors to the London blue line, gets a shot away, takes a whack at it. Harrington, or rather Hughes, will play it on the right side for Remy Alley. Three of them pick their way to the Barrie blue line. Alley in behind the net, trying to find Anderson. Takes the shot, the backhander goes off the stick and rolls in behind the cage. Pumped off the boards, and Murmas has it. Right side for Ferry. He'll dial it in. Around the boards goes Alley and Dotchin. Anderson kicking it free. Then it's played to the line, but not out. Hughes, smart little play in for Ferry. Centering pass. It goes off the base of the net. And Athanasiou can't clear the zone. Here's Anderson trying to go wide. Chance in front. Ellie takes a hack at it. And Niederberger the save. There's Mervis. Didn't get anything on that shot. And Barrie's McDonald will bring it back in with Athanasiou. Back in for McDonald on the return feed. And centering pass. And it's loose out front. As Hughes will gingerly play it back out through to center ice. Inside of 5 minutes remaining here in period 1. Mark will have Ryan O'Connor puts captain in the first intermission. Ole Mata in behind his own net. Bo Horvat with the lone goal for London. Athanasiou for Barrie.
Some great opportunities there for the London Knights on that last little rush. 3:09 left. Matthias Niederberger doing a good job of standing tall, telling his players, gotta be talking, gotta be talking. You see turnovers creating scoring opportunities. Anderson takes the puck away there. Goes to A pass into Ramielli, turns and fires it on. Niederberger stands tall. But again, turnovers create scoring opportunities for the Knights.
Shot right on. Big save in front of the net. As Harrington again will pump one toward Niederberger, and he hangs on.
Niederberger standing tall there again for the Barrie Colts there. Doing a good job of recovering, getting some confidence and some momentum back. You know, he didn't have a very good Game 5, Game 6, but he's doing the job so far here early in Game 7.
Bumped at him. Has made 19 saves. Tierney on the draw will control. McDonald though steals at the line. He'll just drift one in. Hughes into the corner along with Mata. And the Pittsburgh prospect will lead it up on the left side for Chris Tierney down the left wing. Trying to go wide on Dotchin. His shot off the arm of Niederberger. And Athanasiou gets it up to McDonald. In across the line, stops on the dime, now tends the shot away, and Patterson comes up with a big glove save.
Patterson tested right there, and he does a good job standing tall. As you see McDonald coming in and fires a shot on Jake Patterson. His first big save here in Game 7. 1:35 left to go on the first. Shots 20-12 in favor of the Knights so far in this period.
Minute 35 left in this first period. Puck was dropped unfairly, so they'll do it again. Shots on goal rate 20 now for London, 12 for the Barrie Colts. A 1-1 tie here in Game 7. Scott lean in on the draw against Platzer. Barrie trying to control the scrum. Rupert plays it off the boards for himself. But the Colts will chuck one toward the net, and Harrington up the left side for Ellie. Ahead, here's a Matt Rupert in across the line, checked up at the last moment by Laser and a good defensive play. Ellie spins it back for Harrington. He'll get it in as the Colts will play it up on the left side. Corson knocking it in behind the London net. Ramerchuk out for the Colts. He hasn't seen much ice time in this series. The former Owen Sound attack. Inside a minute remaining here in this first period, tied at 1. Game 7. O'Connor, long lead pass for Zach Hall. Harrington picking it up. Plays it to the corner for Ellie. Ramielli having all kinds of trouble with Byers and Squirt. Now a centering pass goes out front. Hall trying to track it down now. Sends it over Ekblad. His shot knocked down by Murmas. And it's hoisted out of harm's way. Where Yule will pick it up for Barrie. Up on the left side, Mitchell Pierrette. Hall toward the net on the right side, but broken up by the veteran Ferry. Gives way to Horvat, trying to find a man in front. Horvat bulldozing his way through, and Yule to the rescue. He'll just send it to the corner. Only 6 seconds remaining as the London Knights and the Barrie Colts will end this first period tied at 1. Here at Budweiser Garden. Stay tuned for Mark Schadenberg in the first intermission. It's OMAC London Night Hockey, live Ontario-wide on Rogers TV.
Let's take a look at the integrated video and surveillance shots on goal through the first period. London outshoots Barrie 20-12 in a very active first period of play here in Game 7 of the Rogers OHL Championship Final.
Well, Jeremy, one of the keys to the game is the stars have to be stars. You take a look at that, man. 6 goals now in this series.
Yeah, we asked who was going to step up for the Barrie Colts in this game with Scheifele and Kamara out. Well, so far, it's Andreas Athanasiou. He stepped up, big goal in the first period of play to tie this game up at 1-1.
And, of course, Bo Horvath, he has 6 in this series as well, and he has been outstanding for the London Knights.
Yeah, and what a goal in that first period of play. It was our play of the period. As quickly as that puck was passed from Tyler Ferry, as quickly as it ended up on his stick, it was in the back of the net.
Take a look at Alex Broadhurst, the Chicago pick. The Knights would like to see a little bit more point production out of him. He has 2 periods left in this OHL Championship game. Dumped in deep as we enter the second frame here. That Budweiser Gardens Game 7 dealt in behind the Barrie net and played around the board. I'd like to apologize. I guess we had some technical difficulty during that first period. Everything green lighted now. That was Athanasiou, tries to clear the zone. Tierney centering pass out front, knocked down, and Anderson will chuck it back to the line. Here's Zadorov, tipped in front of the net, and Tierney rifles it out of play.
Chris Tierney, get a look at him so far in this postseason. 6 goals, 15 assists, 21 points in this postseason for Chris Tierney, although most of those goals happened before this series. We'll see if he can step up and produce here in Game 7.
Just a kindly reminder, if you have a Rogers digital cable box, you can catch this one in high definition on channel 369, 368 in standard definition. Period 2 in Game 7 as Barrie is trying to clear the zone. Ferry, though, will play it along the near or far boards. Bouncing puck rattled to the corner where O'Connor will leave it for Laser. Jonathan Laser sidesteps the checking of Farron. He'll lead the 4-man assault for Barrie. Deposits the puck in deep. Hall in on the move, and here goes Welichka along with Bo Horvath. Horvath in across the line, takes a shot right on, and Niederberger no problem.
Niederberger again makes another save. 22 shots on goal now for the London Knights through just into the second period now, and Niederberger getting some of that confidence back that we've seen him throughout this series. Until Game 5 and Game 6, he was solid between the pipes. Get a look there at Brett Welichka, currently riding a 3-game goal streak for the London Knights.
Adamkowski plays it around the boards. Lemieux trying to clear the zone. He'll get it up to Brown. Brown will spill it in. Zadorov after, but Brown gets there first, place in the corner. Centering pass out front. And it's knocked away. Domi trying to get past his man. Now Max Domi going wide. Domi shoots. He's trying to go upstairs on Niederberger. He was in tight a little bit. Niederberger with a good save again as Domi still has the puck. Saucers it over on the left board. Zadorov bobbles it a bit. Hermes trying to collect it up, and following up on the play is Brown. Here's a chance for Possett taking the shot. Big save, Patterson, as he gloved it from point-blank range.
Jake Patterson tested early on here in the second period, but rises to the occasion. A nice save right on the doorstep. Fawcett makes the save, and then he holds on as Lemieux comes in with a little hack there at the whistle. Patterson gives him one back. Patterson's been good so far here early in this second period of play.
23 shots at Niederberger so far. 22 of them saves. 13 towards Jake Patterson. He's made 12 of them. They're stopped at 1 apiece here in Game 7. Joel plays it around the boards. That glad up off the glass and back out through the center ice. Harrington, right side for Matt Rupert. He'll try to find Ellie in across the line. Platzer hard to the net. Into the corner. Centering pass knocked down by Ekblad. Can't clear the zone. No. Platzer along with Ellie taking the shot as Platzer knocks his man down. Swinging side out front, and Ellie just couldn't catch up with it. Scott will just send it in, and Harrington will wait for the pass. Played around the boards by Patterson. Scotty Harrington Headmans it up for Matt Rupert. He'll just dump it in, and wholesale changes now for London. Right side, Laser sends it all the way down the ice. Icing's waved off. Bradford up against Hughes. Into the corner goes the London native McDonald. He's checked up by Matta, and Anderson is away. Saucer pass intended for Broadhurst in behind Athanasiou, but he stemmed that one off pretty nicely. As Laser will pick it up in his own ice. O'Connor takes a whack at a shot by Broadhurst off the mark, and Hughes jumps in, takes another shot. Broadhurst in from Niederberger. What a save from Broadhurst as Niederberger comes out for the highlight reel save of the night on Broadhurst. Now back the other way, another shot knocked down, and Niederberger gloves it in behind the Barrie net. Matthias Niederberger coming out of the blue to make that save on Alex Broadhurst. Into the corner. We'll see if that has a reflection on this hockey game when it ends. Now Anderson trying to find his man. It goes to the line, Zadorov. Tierney in behind his zone, in behind the Barrie net, back to the line. Harrington, Zadorov takes a shot, knocked down by McDonald, and he'll play it to the corner. Dotchin lifts it out of harm's way as the Colts will bring it in across the line. They stay onside. Athanasiou going wide, centering pass. Thierret trying to knock it down, and Patterson comes up big. That pass picked off by Harrington as the Colts will keep it in. Hall swings it on for three. Red back in for Athanasiou. He tried to take the shot spinning in a backwards direction and just rolled off the tip of the stick. Zadorov hammers it around the boards, and Lipkowski will pick it up. So Jeremy, golden opportunities at both ends of the ice. 5 minutes gone here in period 2, where the lone Canadian Hockey League game tonight in our out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Integrated Video and Surveillance, CCTV specialists. Western Hockey League champs will be the Portland Winterhawks. Hugh will be represented by the Halifax Mooseheads. This one will tell us who wins the OHL Championship, who will play the Saskatoon Blades Friday night at the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Back around in behind the net. Here's Ole Matta. He'll play it off the boards, and Ekblad will go after Thierret. Crowd is booing. Here's Matta. There's a shot. He rifled it high and right as Thierret is laboring in that slot area and must have took a shot from somewhere. Played back to the line. Here's Ole Matta. 5-on-5 hockey. Matta now sends it toward the net, knocked down, and Hall will take over for Barrie. Even Byer ushers it up through to center, rising across the line, leaves it to Thierret. He's checked up at the line, and Barrie and Matta will connect. Here's Ole Matta. He'll just saucer it in deep where O'Connor will pick it up. Ryan O'Connor, Hamilton native on the right side for Byer. He'll just lift one into the London ice, and Harrington will pick it up. Long headman pass up for Griffith. It's tipped in. Laser against Domi. Around the boards, Griffith will pick it up in for Domi. Chops it in for Rupert. Picked off by Fawcett. There's a shot tipped in front by Rupert. Another chance in front. Domi trying to get on it. As Brown will pick up the loose puck and get it out through to center ice. In with Lemieux, and it's called on the offside.
And what a huge save. It seemed like it happened so long ago, but Matthias Niederberger keeps the Barrie Colts in this game right here. Alex Broadhurst on the doorstep. Niederberger with the diving save. And then we see another one just tipped wide right there by Ryan Rupert, back out in front. And Niederberger gets the rebound, gets the puck out of harm's way, and keeps this at a 1-1 game. 13:05 left to go here in the second period of play.
Not sure, Jeremy. They could be going upstairs on that one opportunity by Broadhurst. They're waving it off as they should. Niederberger with a tremendous save against Alex Broadhurst. Face-off just outside the London blue line. 27 shots recorded for London, 14 for the Colts. A 1-1 score. Here was 7 minutes gone in the second period of Game 7. Into the corner, Ellie battling hard against Lepkowski, played around the boards. Dodson takes a bump now. Ellie comes up with a center pass. Blitzer with the shot! And a good save by Niederberger again. He stuck the right pad out this time. Rupert bringing it back in. London is controlling this second period so far. Played around the boards and the Colts come out with it. Out through to center ice. Zadorov bangs it off the boards, knocked down by Scott on a good play. Scott now wheeling his way in. He's checked up at the last moment. And now Remy Alley will labor it through to center ice. On a long shift, trying to get wide on Dotchin, goes into the corner. Alley pokes it free for Platzer. This line has been out for a while now. Centering pass knocked down. Broadhurst off the bench as it rolls in behind the Barrie net. Now to the corner. Mata will pick it up. Round the dasher. Lepkowski on a long shift as well as Anderson comes off the bench. In the corner for Broadhurst. Return feed for Anderson. Sends it in front of the net on the backhander. Niederberger with another save as Lepkowski will knock it down and he'll hammer it down the length of the ice.
Greg, we mentioned that your stars need to be your stars in Game 7, but you also need some help from the depth. Great play right here by Matt Rupert. Creates a turnover, hitting Dotchin. Remy Ellie feeds it out to Platzer. Kick save by Niederberger, but Platzer, Ellie, and Rupert, 2 shifts in a row, putting a ton of pressure on the Barrie Colts defense, creating turnovers.
Everybody up in tight, London. Tierney waved out of the face-off circle. Anderson in. Bradford for the Colts. Broadhurst along with Tierney as Anderson wins the draw. Goes back to Hughes. Into the corner for Chris Tierney. He's checked up at the last moment. And Athanasiou will just get it to the line, and that's about it. Bouncing puck eludes Broadhurst, and it's sent back in deep. Olimata, right side, played off the boards. Tierney has some speed going through the center ice area. He'll chuck it to the corner and then race in after his own shooting. Alex Broadhurst trying to mop it up. It goes to the corner, played around the boards. Hughes will hammer it toward the net, tipped in front, and Broadhurst just shanked it wide a bit. Goes in behind the net again. Chris Tierney back to the line. Another shot by Hughes, and he rifled it off the backboard. Lofted into the corner. London with some pressure. Centering pass goes out front. Anderson trying to smoke it home, and it's gobbled up there by the Barrie D. And McDonald will lead it up. He'll just dump it in. Mata after him. Only 2 penalties so far in this hockey game. Here's Horvat now in across the line. He has the lone goal for London. Overskated it a bit as the Colts do a good job on the sophomore. Now Byers back the other way, takes a shot right on, big rebound out front. Boy, Patterson had to track that down, and the captain helped him out as he swatted it to the near boards. Here's O'Connor. Takes a peek at the clock, a long left wing pass in for by Theoret. Holds, checked up at the last second. And now Wilichka. 4 goals in this final series, takes a shot right on. Niederberger with the save. As Wilichka plays it back to very quick shot from a sharp angle, knocked down Niederberger. Another shot from Horvat, and Niederberger gets a pad on that one. Played in behind the net. Theoret trying to clear the zone. Myers taps it back out to Theoret, but O'Connor will take over. Barrie to the line, along with Hall. Here's a chance in front, knocked away by the London D. Another shot knocked down by Wilichka, and Murmas will take over. Into the corner. Played around the boards. Murmas will have to hustle. Gets it up on the left side for Ferry. Tyler Ferry in across the line, and Wilichka called on the offside. Still tied at 1 here at the Gardens. This second period is brought to you by Great Floors.
Matthias Niederberger needed a bounce back game here in Game 7, and he's had it so far. 32 saves on 33 shots, just over halfway through this game. Niederberger's made some big ones when he's had to keep this deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. Face off just outside the Barrie blue line. London with some sustaining pressure in the last 5 minutes or so. Dodson gets it to the line. He'll chunk it in deep. Patterson out to play it around the boards. Domi takes a hack at it, squirts out through to center ice, and London will get it in. Lepkowski, Rupert hounding him down now, centering pass out front. Fawcett, though, helps out his rear guard. As Fawcett now stopped there by Griffith. Trying to find Rupert parked off the low post, and that just failed to click. Now in behind the net. Dotchin again around the boards. Get on his horse and work his way to the London blue line. Following up on the play is Brown, all kinds of time. Rupert with a good defensive play as Domi will try to clear. Max Domi off the glass, a bouncing puck, and Buell will take over for the Colts. He overskates it. Played over on the near board for Ekblad. Bradford in across the line along with Brown. Down takes a shot right on, and Patterson with the save. Jake Patterson, as much as Matthias Niederberger's been doing it at the other end, he's holding his own in the London Knights net. He's only faced 16 shots so far in this contest. Hasn't been tested as much, but he's come up with the saves he's needed to make for this Knights team. Bradford, who can really fly out there, is on the draw, but London will control the draw. They scrum for it as it rolls on the right side for the Burlington native Anderson. He'll get it in across the line. Ekblad being watched there by Bradford, giving chase. Or Broadhurst, rather. Giving chase back to the line. Murmas, hard shot by Matta. Tipped in front of the net by Anderson and right into the glove of Niederberger. Nice shot from the point by Oli Matta, getting into a spot where he could get it through. You never know what could happen. Anything towards the net here in Game 7. Went off a couple of people out in front. Niederberger makes the easy save. A bounce one way or the other, that could end up in the back of the net. Everybody up in tight, London. Anderson. Now, Anderson's waved out of there. Tierney back in. They have Anderson taking the draw there because he's a right-handed shot, trying to get it back to the point, but Tierney does the job on the left-handed play. Broadhurst off a man and into the mesh. 8:06 left to go here in the second period of play. 1-1 the score here. As we mentioned, London Knights 34 shots on goal through halfway through this game, peppering Niederberger in the Barrie Colts net. Ryan O'Connor, a big part of this Barrie Colts team, one of the leaders on this squad, and is going to have to find a way to guide his team towards this Game 7 victory. Gotta remember Anthony Camara, Mark Scheifele out of the lineup along with Webster, three veterans. As Scott will bring it out across the line that humps back in again, offside called on the Knights. Yeah, we're going to have a face-off just outside of the Barrie Colts end. Again, we get a look at Matt Rupert, a big part of this Rupert, Platzer, Ellie line that has been creating fits for the Barrie defense so far in this game. There's O'Connor. Plays it around the boards for Scott. Takes a bump from Platzer. Zadorov now. He's hit by Corson, and another face-off here. We just saw it again. Kyle Platzer throwing a check. Ellie's been throwing hits. Rupert is known for throwing these body checks, as we're going to see a line change now. Horvat, Ferry, Wolichka coming out against the Theoret, Hall, and Byers line. Maybe a matchup that Dale Hunter wants here in Game 7. The story of the game is quickly becoming Niederberger. He's made about 4 or 5 tremendous saves and from point-blank range. One most notably against Broadhurst about 5 minutes ago. Still 1-1 as we approach the 7-minute mark remaining here in the second period. Game 7 at Budweiser Gardens, 1-1. The Knights and the Barrie Colts. The winner of this hockey game
has an invite to Saskatoon starting Friday night against the Blades. Now Dotchin in across the line, on for a haul, picked off, and Horvat is away with it. Knocks the stick out of Theoret's hand, now in across the line, goes Perry, shot right on, big rebound out front as it rolls back to the line, and Matta will take over. Chance here for London, Harrington, shot right on, oh, and he just whistled it high and wide. Another shot hoisted to the far corner, and Harrington will jump into the play. Into the corner goes Horvat along with Lepkowski, and Horvat nails the big man, the Buffalo pick, Lepkowski, and it's rifled down and length of the ice.
Bo Horvat throwing his weight around in this game. Gonna look at a nice body check on Lepkowski. Big hit along the boards, being physical. Physical play is going to create those turnovers necessary to get your scoring opportunities for the London Knights. That last play was all because of Mitchell Thurett losing his stick in the neutral zone. Created a lot of opportunities for the Knights.
Mermis as London controls the draw, played into the corner, and Brown comes up with it for Barrie. Cross ice feed as the Colts will just hoist it in. A bouncing puck goes right to Patterson, and smartly he will hang on.
Max Domi's been the leading goal scorer for the London Knights in this postseason. 11 goals, 21 assists, 32 points. So far in this series, just 1 goal, but 6 assists. They're keying in on Max Domi, which is allowing for his line mates to get open. He's finding them, and they've been able to score and create points for Domi.
Big win by the Colts deep in London territory. They are on the move as Brown spins off the checking of Griffith. Lemieux against Mermis. Lemieux scoring big goals in these playoffs for the Colts. As it's hoisted back out through to center ice, Ryan Rupert on for Seth Griffith. In across the line, hot pass for Zadorov off the tip of his stick as Griffith takes out his man. Yule being checked up by Domi and Griffith. Here's a chance for Domi trying to walk out. Griffith shoots it right on, and Niederberger with the save. Good forechecking here by the Knights. Centering pass rolls off the tip of Domi's stick, and Brown will take over. Back out through to center ice. Mermis going to handle it at the line as it's dumped in deep. Changes now for the Colts. Long right wing pass, missed everyone. They're going to wave that one off as London now is making changes. Long right wing pass in across the line. Harrington had it hop over his stick, but they're going to call that on the offside.
Yeah, it's going to be an offside. Going to come back down into near Barrie Colts territories. You got to look at Joshua McDonald, the London native who plays for the Barrie Colts. 21 games in this postseason, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points for the London native, getting to play in his hometown in a huge game, chance to win an OHL title.
Tierney along with Broadhurst and Anderson. Harrington, Tommy Hughes. As London controls the draw, but the speedy Bradford comes up with it. On the right side for the aforementioned McDonald, swings it around the boards, and Anderson will headman it up for Chris Tierney. And across the line against Lazier. Broadhurst parks himself out front. Shot toward the net, goes back to the line. It's a shot by Hughes, didn't get all of it, and McDonald will take over. Up ahead for Athanasiou, in across the line, trying to go wide on Harrington. Hughes, though, checks him up, and Broadhurst handles it. Up on the left side as Tierney tries to track it down against Bradford. Broadhurst in behind the Barrie net, and Captain Connor spins off the checking of Broadhurst at the line. Anderson will keep it in. London trying to get the go-ahead goal. Here's a chance. Broadhurst it goes to the line, but not out. All kinds of pressure here by the Knights. Finally, it flutters back out through to center, where London will have to tag up. About 15 ticks off the 4-minute mark remaining here in period 2. Tied at 1. Here's a chance for Ferry along with Bo Horvat shooting it. Oh, and he just rifled it high and wide. Into the corner. Horvat now in behind the net. Trying to waltz his way out. Sends it to Ward on a sharp angle shot. And Niederberger with the save.
Niederberger does a good job holding the post right there for the Barrie Colts, getting as tight as he possibly can up against it. Horvat with the shot towards the net. Tipped, I believe, by Welichka out in front. Niederberger again does a good job holding that post, getting low, making the save, 37 shots on goal now for the London Knights. 3:58 left to go here in the second.
London controls the draw. Mata plays it in behind the net. Ekblad around the boards, but picked up by Barrie. Sends it toward Niederberger. Knocked down, though, where Horvat has it. Ekblad all over him. As London now to the power play. Patterson to the London bench. Knocked down, and London will have their second opportunity on the power play.
Ekblad's not going to like it, but he's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for holding. We're going to look at it here. He just gets that one hand off the stick. As soon as a referee sees that, you're seeing where that free hand's going. As soon as it grabbed Horvat, brought him down to the ground. 2 minutes for holding for Ekblad as the Knights go to the power play. 3:37 left to go here in the second.
So the Knights employ Horvat, Griffith, and Domi up front. Mata and Broadhurst will anchor the D on London's second power play. Barrie replies with Bradford. Byers. Looks like Lepkowski and Dotchin on the back end. Barrie controls the draw. It goes off a player in front of the net as Dotchin is trying to rough up Griffith. Horvat now in behind the net, smoking around the boards for Mata, and backhands it into the corner. They'll let it go in that cycle game. Seth Griffith, 10 points in this series so far. Plays it over to Broadhurst. Return feed to Griffith. Down low now for Rupert. Rupert centers it out front. Here's a chance for Mata, and he couldn't take it off the front portion of his blade. On the near boards. Here's Seth Griffith taking the shot. Goes off a pad. Now Broadhurst. Chance. Mata rifles it. He scores! London up by one.
Taking advantage of the man advantage as they work the puck around to Ole Mata, who rifles it low, goes 5-hole between the legs of Niederberger and gives the London Knights a 2-1 lead here on the power play. 3:02 left to go here in the second period of play. Fourth goal of the postseason for the Finnish defenseman Ole Mata.
Now the Pittsburgh prospect has the go-ahead goal here in London. As Ekblad took the holding call, and the Knights are really on the Colts in their own zone. That created the power play. Ekblad was dog-tired, had to haul his man down. Now London on the move again. They're looking for more. Back out through to center right. Hughes. As Barrie, or rather Tierney, will take up. 38 shots recorded for London now. As they lead it 2-1. Mark will have Seth Griffith in the second intermission. That's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds away. Dumped in deep. Called on a high step.
Going to come back down into London territory as we get a look at Chris Tierney. Big postseason for him, 21 points in 20 games, averaging just over 1 point per game. The San Jose Shark draft pick has signed with the Sharks just before this playoff, late in the regular season. So good news for Chris Tierney, who had a breakout season this year for the London Knights.
Fawcett on the draw against Griffith. London control. London has been very good on the draws tonight. Dumped in deep. Griffith after his man Ekblad. It goes in behind the Barrie net. Now Rupert trying to wrap her around and hoist it off a player and rolls to the corner. Griffith slides it back to the line for Ole Mata. He has the go-ahead goal. Now Mata takes the puck off the back portion of his blade in for Griffith. He bobbles it a bit but retrieves it. Now a chance for Seth again in front. And a shot might have went off a player and it's ushered wide. Along the near board. Big Ekblad coming up with it. He'll will his way in across the line. Takes the shot off as Zadorov's pad. And London will try to clear the zone. Fawcett can't pick up the loose puck, and Domi and Griffith out with it. Griffith trying to get past his man. He's knocked off the puck, but here goes Rupert trying to take it from Brown. And London again will just send it in. And will give them an opportunity to make changes. Horvat along with Wolichka. Domi still out there. Tommy Hughes and Scotty Harrington on the back end. as we approach the 1 minute mark remaining here in period 2 at Budweiser Gardens. 2-1, the Knights lead it. Game 7 of the best of 7. Rogers Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. Over to the open wing, and icing will be called against the Knights.
Nice try at an up ice pass there from Tommy Hughes. Didn't find anyone as we get a look at Eric Bradford. He's one of those guys that is going to need to step up tonight. Missing Mark Scheifele and Anthony Camara from their top unit. Guys like Bradford, McDonald, Athanasiou, this line has to step up and produce for the Barrie Colts as we're now less than 21 minutes away from this game being in the book.
Bradford, a 10th round pick in the 2010 draft. And all that speed, you kind of wonder why he went so low in the draft. Boy, he can fly. And he can put the puck in the net now as Horvat will wheel in across the line, trying to bulldoze his way through. As Boa Horvat looking to pick up his 7th goal of these finals. Now in across the line goes McDonald against Harrington, back for Athanasiou. He's checked up, the overager Ferry will try to clear the zone. He'll get it up through the center ice for Welichka. Welichka can't find Horvat, and back the other way, possible 3-on-2 for the Colts. Here's a shot that goes off Harrington and played back to the line. Dodson now shooting it, oh, he just missed it by a whisker or two off from that left post. Another shot went wide. As Barrie now employing some pressure. Here's Horvat though. Bringing it on the right side for Ferry as the horn sounds to end period 2 here at Budweiser Gardens. Stay tuned for Mark Schadenberg in the second intermission. Live Ontario-wide, it's OMAC London Night Hockey on Rogers TV.
Time to look at our integrated video and surveillance shots on goal through 2 periods of play. They read 39 for London, 17 for Barrie. London outshot Barrie 19-5 in that second period of play.
Well, the Knights all over the Colts. As you mentioned, Jeremy, in that second period, a lot of penetrating, forechecking. You know, you talk about Matthias Niederberger. We talked about it in the second intermission, Mark and I. He has played outstanding.
Yeah, he's been the reason that this game is still 2-1. Niederberger made a number of saves, a very acrobatic save during that second period of play that's keeping the Barrie Colts in it right now. He's going to have to keep that up in this third period because I'm sure London's watched too many leads slip away in this series. They're going to come out full bore here in the third.
Well, you'd have to think it's going to be a little different third period. As everyone remembers, on Saturday night, London had a 4-goal lead heading into the third. Kind of laid back a little bit to preserve that 4-goal lead. You just can't do this against this explosive Barrie Hockey Club.
No, you really got to keep that physical play that you've had throughout the first 2 periods. We saw it in Game 4 too, where Barrie had that comeback victory. You cannot get away from that physical play if you're the London Knights. Don't go back into that defensive mode. Keep the pressure on this Barrie Colts team. They're missing guys like Mark Scheifele, Anthony Camara. You got to pressure the offense. Don't let their second guns get going.
Absolutely. As the Barrie Colts and the London Knights, 1 period left in regulation time to decide who will be going to Saskatoon. We could see some overtime, of course, and we play until it is all over. Hang on, we will have a third period to remember, I guarantee it. Knights up by 1 as we enter this third frame. Olimata on the power play, giving the Knights a 1-goal margin as we enter this third frame. 5-on-5 hockey as Yule will take over in his own end. Over for Ekblad. He has hardly come off the ice tonight. Zadorov picks it off the boards, and Ekblad will play it up through the center. Can the London Knights do it? Up by 1 to win their second consecutive OHL Championship. In the corner, Tierney Trying to cut loose. He sends it over on the near board to Anderson. Back to Christian. He centers pass out front. Knocked down by the big Brad Ekblad. And he'll send Bradford away. He'll dial it in deep. Athanasiou. Look for him to have a big period. Up through as Bradford picks that one off and sends it back in deep. Zadorov hammers it around the board, but O'Connor comes up with it, takes the shot, a high rising one over top of the net, and it's sent back in. Barrie with some good pressure to start this third period. Knocked down by Harrington. Broadhurst now chips it out of harm's way, and O'Connor again will just string it back in. That was a pretty good pad save by Patterson. It looked like it had eyes for that right bottom corner. Played around the board. Zach Hall chips it back out through to center ice. Knocked down and across the line to Red. He was a hero for Barrie in period 3 up at the Wilson Center in Barrie on Saturday night. Around the board. Patterson leaves it there for Merman. Buck 30 gone here in period 3, and off Ferry down the ice, and icing is called against the Knights.
Getting a look at Brett Wolichka, 3-game point streak for the London native, 3-game goal streak that is, 4 goals in this series. Depth has been a big thing for the London Knights in this series, and he's one of those depth players that Dale Hunter can roll out at any point.
Everybody up in tight. Colts lost that against his man. That was a Rupert, and it goes right into the glove of Patterson. Will have another face-off.
The questions remain now for the head coach of the Barrie Colts, Dale Hawerchuk. Who can he turn to offensively without his 2 big guns? You're into the third period now. It's into crunch time. Who's going to step up for this team to try and propel them to a championship?
Athanasiou comes to mind along with Violette. Bradford could be one. Watch for Lemieux. He scored some big goals for this Barrie Hockey Club. Just dumped down the ice again. 2 icing calls against the Knights in the early going.
Yeah, the Knights doing a little bit of just getting the puck out of the zone right now. Take a little bit of that pressure off from the Barrie Colts. Dump and chase, dump and chase. That one a little bit too far for icing, so we'll have a face-off to the right of Jake Patterson. 18-14 left to go here in the third period.
Sam Griffith in on the draw against Bradford. Griffith wins it, and Harrington pushes it on for Tommy Hughes. New York Ranger prospect can't clear the zone. McDonald trying to go wide. Now McDonald trying to waltz his way in. Bradford trying to stuff it home. Athanasiou had his hands up, but the Knights have to clear the zone on that play as the Colts come close.
Yeah, another turnover creates a scoring opportunity for the Barrie Colts on this one. Hughes gives the puck away to McDonald. McDonald uses his speed to come in front, tries to tuck it in on Patterson. You see it right here. McDonald just coming out front, tries to tuck it in. Bradford squeezes at it. Puck never crosses the line. It doesn't appear that way in that right there as Patterson squeezes his pad around, holds that one out, keeps it at a 2-1 game.
Bradford on the draw against Tierney. Bradford wins it back to the line. Now shot off of Broadhurst. That stung a bit. As Lepkowski again will hammer it in. Bradford on the move. All Barrie so far in the early going of period 3. Lepkowski hustles in from his point position. Athanasiou swings shot to the corner. Picked up as London will try to clear the zone. Scotty Harrington now up for Max Domi as Tierney and Anderson with him. Here's Domi in across the line. Saucer pass in for Anderson, picked off. Domi on the move again, almost picked the pocket. Now Tierney picks the pocket of Athanasiou and gives way as the Toronto native will send it back out through the center ice. Cross ice feed for Anderson. Trying to tuck it down. Now Tierney will bring it in across the line. Stutters takes the shot. It goes off the skate and back out through the center ice. Go to Merman. Hammers it in as Yule will pick it up. Brett Wolichka over the boards along with Bo Horvath. Yule skates with it. Now picks his way to the London blue line. Yule takes the shot right on as Patterson will take it right in the crest. Hall on his man. Merman plays it off the boards for Domi, and that will be another icing call against the Knights.
Barrie starting to put a little bit of pressure on the London Knights here early in this third period of play. London getting back on its heels a little bit. Ekblad and the rest of the Colts just trying to do what they can, put some pressure on this team, maybe create some turnovers, create a few scoring opportunities. 16:46 left to go here in the third period to play. 21 shots on net for the Barrie Colts.
Mata in behind his own net as it's peeled around the board. Griffith trying to clear the zone. Griffith delivers a pass on the Ole Matistik. He has the go-ahead goal late in the second period. Tapped down by Ekblad. That'll be called on a high stick.
Not much flow happening through this third period so far early in this third period. A lot of whistles, a lot of stop and go for both teams. London looking to take advantage of that crowd. You hear that crowd noise come into play. That's going to help them here in the third period. 9,000 strong here at Budweiser Gardens, looking to cheer them on to an OHL championship.
Not very loud Gardens here. We approach the 4-minute mark gone here in period 3. Regulation time. London leading it by 1 goal. Barrie, though, coming out strong in this third period, as they always have. Knocked down. Barrie trying to clear the zone. Chucked toward the net. Patterson will hang on.
Yeah, you mentioned it right there, Greg. Barrie has played very well in third periods in this series. A number of comebacks against the London Knights. Scott Harrington and company are going to have to do what they can to weather this Barrie Colts storm in the third period.
Viera. 2 goals on Saturday night on the draw. Horvat wins it cleanly. Now Horvat takes a shot from Viera right at the face-off circle. And we have another icing call.
Ryan O'Connor, the overage captain of the Barrie Colts, 11 games so far in this postseason, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. He'll be relied upon for leadership and that veteran presence down the stretch here in this Game 7 of the OHL Championship.
Morrison, Scott, Ramerchuk up front for Barrie. Lepkowski, Dotchin, veteran presence on the back end for the somewhat rookie line for Dale Howardchuk. Now bounced out through the center ice and Rupert's in on it. Lepkowski takes over, Griffith gives him a nudge, and Scott, he'll skate with it out through the center ice. Down the left wing, will hoist it in deep against Zadorov. Big Zadorov having trouble against Scott. Good forward checking by the Burlington native. Rupert trying to help out with his rear guard. McDonald all tied up, and Zadorov now will pick it up. Off the boards and back out through the center ice, and yet another icing call.
And you hear a little bit of the crowd getting into it here for the London Knights. We mentioned they got to keep the pressure on this Barrie Colts team in the third period. So far, just less than 5 minutes in, they're not doing it. No shots on goal through the first 5 minutes of this third period for the London Knights. Got to find some little bit of offensive pressure here somewhere from these Knights.
Face off deep in London territory. Here's Horvat. He'll lead the 4-man assault. Now trucks it on the right side for Anderson. Taps it down low for Bo Horvat. Tierney trying to come up with it as well. Horvat back to the line for Tommy Hughes. Cycle game maybe going here for the Knights now as it goes to Anderson. Anderson in for Horvat. He's held up momentarily. Play goes on. Dotchin is looking around his almost. He said, hey, I didn't get the penalty. And yes, you didn't. As Horvat was pulled down right in front of the net. Harrington now will play it around the boards for Hughes. Anderson trying to catch up with it. Icing again against the Knights.
See a glimpse of a line that worked so well together last year during the Knights Memorial Cup run. Josh Anderson, Bo Horvat, and Chris Tierney put back together by Dale Hunter for that shift. Now that we see Barrie going with somewhat of their fourth line, London's going to bring out their first unit of Griffith, Domi, and Ryan Rupert.
London controls the draw. Coda Murmas takes a peek. He'll skate with it out through the center. Rise down the ice again. I'm not sure. Is that the 5th icing call?
Yeah, it's been quite a few so far here in this third period, Greg, as Murmas tried the up ice pass. Nothing there so far, not able to connect on that one was Dakota Murmas.
Tight hockey game here, game 7. Shots on goal, 39 for London, 22 for the Barrie Colts. As it's played around the boards, Lemieux will pick it up. Watch for Brown, parked out front, has a chance, shoots it, beats, save Patterson from point-blank range. Colts almost tying this hockey game. Now Domi steals, trying to go in and out. It's played back to the line where Mata will take over. Down for Max Domi. Back to Murmas, shot off the chest of Niederberger, and that's the first pressure London's had in this period.
Jake Patterson, he hasn't been tested too much here in this game, but he's come up big when he's had to. Point blank shot right out in front from Brown. Patterson makes a good save. Go down to the other end. This guy has been tested this game. Niederberger comes up, jumps, makes that save, holds on to the rebound, and gets a face-off. That's the first shot by the London Knights on goal in this third period.
Barrie controls the draw. Byers up on the left side against Tommy Hughes. He'll drift it in. Byers falls. Hughes plays it around the board for Scotty Harrington. He'll lift it out through the center ice, looking for a Lichko, following up on the play with Horvat. Pierrette out there knocking his men around, and the Horvat will just idly tip it in. O'Connor leaves it there for Laser. He's nailed there by Ferry as he had his head down. Back off. Pierrette in front, chance, oh, and what a save. Here's another chance. Lemkowski couldn't get the shot. Another shot just hung wide as the Colts had 2 or 3 golden opportunities to tie this hockey game. Mata wings it into the London bench. Feverish action here at the button.
Game 7, you do whatever you can. Bodies are on the line. Let's get a look at this replay as Bo Horvat makes a game saver right here out in front of the net. Horvat comes through, pushes that puck aside, and keeps this at a 2-1 game. Great job there by Bo Horvat. Not only doing it at the offensive end, defensive end as well, as I believe the London Knights are going to take a timeout and try and regroup here. 13:02 left to go in the third period.
This is a smart move by Dale Hunter. His team has not come out with any kind of enthusiasm here in this third period at all. He has to settle them down and get them back focused, Jeremy.
Yeah, you know what? We mentioned it a number of times. Third periods haven't been great for the London Knights in this postseason. They've given up leads time after time after time. Dale Hunter's going to take the time to talk to his players, get them to regroup, and see if they can start putting some pressure on in the offensive zone rather than protecting in the defensive zone.
Zadorov along with Tierney, Broadhurst, Anderson. So the Colts, the game showing their depth. Mark Scheifele out of the lineup, Camara out of the lineup, Webster out of the lineup. I don't think Hall's 100%. As Mata will play it around the boards, and here goes Broadhurst, the Chicago pick in across the line. Alex Broadhurst plays it around the boards for Anderson along with Tierney. Tierney rubbed out there by Bradford. Tierney still working hard though. Athanasiou trying to pick it up. On for Bradford. In across the line, the puck goes, and Broadhurst will get it up for Tierney. He'll take it to the corner. Alex Broadhurst parked out in front and tipped away nicely by the Barrie's D. Now played around the boards for Athanasiou. He'll skate with it, checked up by Anderson. It goes to Mata. Surveys the area, then slides the beauty pass on to Broadhurst's take. 3 of them now work their way to the Barrie blue line. Chance for Zadorov, and he had it just roll off the tip of the stick. Now back the other way goes Fawcett. He'll usher it in across the line with Athanasiou. Takes the shot, tried to feed it in for Fawcett. And Harrington with a good play. Yule to the corner. Harrington takes him off the puck. Now he's checked up by Fawcett. Plays it around the boards, and the big Russian has it. Up on the left side, and here goes Seth Griffin. Lots of room down the left wing. Griffin checks up, checks Rupert in front, and it's stolen there by Lemieux. He's sends the pass to the open wing, and Harrington's on it. Headman's it back up for Griffith. Tipped in and lays it. Things are starting to open up here. Here's Viorette, and across the line, Lemieux tried to take the shot. Into the corner, Merman takes a peek against Viorette. Brown in there as well. They continue to battle for it. Hughes comes up with it. Tommy Hughes off the boards and is played back out through to center. Viorette along the near boards. He'll just dial it in. Domi trying to catch up with it, chops at it, and he'll usher it back out through to center ice. Here's a chance for Griffith. Seth Griffith along with Horvath. Plays it in low for Domi. O'Connor can't clear the zone. Horvath almost picking it off, and Fiorette's away. Out through to center. Welichka off the bench. It would have been offside. Now O'Connor will restore some order. We're the lone game in the Ontario Hockey League tonight, and in fact, right out through the CHL is Portland and Halifax have advanced to the Memorial Cup, and our out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Integrated Video and Surveillance. The CCTV specialist, Welichka, to the line. Lepkowski plays it up on the left side for a haul, and he'll skate with it out through to center ice. Nifty little backhand pass onto the speedy Bradford in across the London blue line. He'll try to usher it back to the line, but broken up by Horvath. Three of them now work their way to the Barrie blue line. A shot knocked down. Welichka will take over. Played to the corner. Bradford on the long shift. Fades off the check-in of Welichka, and he'll just slow things down and leaves it for Athanasiou. He has a head of steam on now as he works his way to the line. Athanasiou right through the top of the crease, and it pops free back out through to center ice. Inside of 10 minutes remaining in regulation time, a 1-goal margin here at Budweiser Gardens, Game 7. Now McDonald on the native, working his way in, takes the shot up against Zadorov, and the big Russian blocked it. Now back down through to center ice. Barrie still stays onside Zadorov. Being hounded there by Corson. And Zadorov in behind his own net. Up for Broadhurst. Headmans it again, up for Anderson. Kearney down the right side, in behind the Barrie net, looking for Broadhurst. Shoots it! Oh, and Niederberger again comes up with a big blocker save. There's Broadhurst to the corner. He's pinned up against the boards, and Barrie will rifle it down the length of this. 2-1, the Knights lead it here in Game 7, third period.
Get a look there at Bo Horvath, who has been big in the series so far for the London Knights.
This third period is brought to you by Progressive Countertops.
Horvath having a huge series for the London Knights, not only on the offensive end, but he's also that guy that'll be out there on the power play, be out there on the penalty kill, and take those very, very important defensive zones of draws.
Horvath on the draw, wins it, but Barrie comes up with it. Hall to the center ice area, lifts it in for Byers, who's been quiet for the Colts. Tucked back out through to center, and a rolling puck, and Blazers after it. Griffith giving chase, and yes, that will be icing against the Knights as Harrington breaks the stick.
That one just crept across the line now as we're into the 8.5-minute mark here in the third period of play for the London Knights. Just 2 shots on goal so far in this third period. Barrie starting to turn their offensive tide and put some pressure on this Knights team.
Fawcett, Brown, along with Lemieux. London controls the draw, but they can't go to the zone. Here's Brown now taking the shot. Rupert falls in front of that one. Zadorov to the corner. All kinds of pressure by the Colts here. Right side, Ryan Rupert, 5 points in his last 2 games there. He sends it toward the net, goes off of Niederberger's blocker. As Domi will try to find Rupert, trying to go upstairs, and Lemieux knocks him down at the last second on a good defensive play. Here's Lemieux again. Brings it on the right side for Josh Brown and across the line, trying to find O'Connor. The shot right on. Big save by Patterson as he took it off the shore. Now Brown takes the shot, and that might have hit a stick as it went high and wide. Down low again. Brown trying to tap it free as Hughes nails him. Now Zadorov nails his bat as play is stopped.
Let's get another look at that hit along the boards there by Tommy Hughes. We see Brown getting up gingerly as he's trying to get off the ice here, asking the referee if there was a penalty called on that one, but Hughes just delivers him into the boards. See it here on the OMAC Mortgages replay. Drives him into the boards. There does Tommy Hughes. London fortunate to not be heading to the penalty kill here with 7:42 left.
Not so much on the Hughes play, on the Zadorov hit. As Lepkowski plays it over on Perdochin, knocked down by Mata. Bradford along the far side. Into the corner, Barrie with lots of pressure. That pass smoked right through the crease, and Patterson had to be good. Mata to the corner. Colts again with all kinds of pressure as Tierney clears it out, and Griffith along with Anderson. 2-on-1 London. Here's Seth Griffith, shoots it. Anderson! Oh, and he couldn't deposit the panel. Here's another shot, and that hit the crossbar or the post, I'm sure of it. As London comes very close in taking a 2-goal lead.
An unbelievable opportunity there, or opportunities that Niederberger makes saves on for the London Knights. You get a 2-on-1 coming down the other way. Griffith decides he's going to hold and shoot. Squeaks through Niederberger. Anderson on the doorstep, can't put that one home. Ends up squeaking out the side. And then Griffith comes back and rings one off the crossbar, but you see it squeaks right along the goal line. Anderson not able to put that one home. 7:01 left to go here in the third period of play. 2-1 the score in favor of the London Knights.
Well, they're going to go upstairs on both those plays. Definitely not a goal, but very close.
Yeah, Niederberger doing a phenomenal job here tonight, keeping his Barrie Colts team in this game. 43 saves so far tonight for the Barrie Colts netminder. As you see, the referee's talking upstairs. We're going to get the call here. No goal on the ice, so we'll have a face-off to the left of Niederberger. 7:01 left to go here in the third.
Well, the Knights coming very close and getting some insurance. I'm not sure what insurance is with these Colts, the way they can score, as it's played around the boards and pops free out through the center ice. Ekblad in his own zone and plays it over for Ewell. Takes a peek at the clock, is 9,000 plus now. Go Knights go. Up through the center ice. Knock to the boards, and Barrie will just dial it in. Patterson plays it around the boards, and Barrie, no, they're going to call it down on a glove.
Yeah, it looked like it just went out of play there off the glass as Patterson comes out to fire that one around the glass, take some pressure off. So while the face-off just to the left of Jake Patterson. 6:33 left to go here in the third period of play. Get a look at Bo Horvat, who's going to stay out there to take this defensive zone face-off.
Fawcett against Horvat as the Colts scrum forward along with Horvat. Play back to the line and pops over Domi's stick. The Ekblad has it. He'll just rifle it in. Lemieux works it ahead, trying to find Brown. What a golden opportunity he had in the early going of this third period now. Here's the sniper, Griffith walking along. Griffith shooting it! And Niederberger comes up big again. on the Boston pick Griffith. There's Brown, weaving his way out through to center right. Rupert gets back into it to knock him off the puck. And icing again charged against London.
And Niederberger again keeping the Barrie Colts in this game as Seth Griffith comes in all by himself. A little pressure from behind by Ekblad, but Niederberger holds his own. You see it. Griffith coming in full of speed, goes to the backhand. Blocker save right there by Niederberger keeps this at a 1-goal game. If Barrie's able to mount a comeback, it's thanks to the goaltending of Matthias Niederberger.
45 shots directed Niederberger's way so far. We're inside of 6 minutes remaining here in regulation time. Another icing goal against London.
London again just hoping to withstand the pressure of the Barrie Colts right now. They're content with just dumping the puck down the ice and having defensive zone faceoffs.
Bradford, Athanasiou, along with McDonald, who hails from London. Ryan O'Connor. Overager along with Lepkowski as London will control the draw. Hughes plays it off the boards and O'Connor's on it. He's being hounded there by Anderson. Checks up his man, Tierney into the corner. Off the stanchion in a peculiar fashion. Athanasiou now up with it. Skates with it. Through to center ice now in across the 9. Plays it to the corner for McDonald. Along the boards. Here's Lepkowski trying to get past Anderson in for McDonald. Hammers at it. It's off a skate and around the board she goes. Athanasiou against Tierney. Leans into him. Harrington trying to mop up the loose puck with McDonald in there as well. Athanasiou though coming up with it. Spins off the checking. Now Tierney checks him up and he'll flutter one to the Barrie blue line. Inside of 5 minutes remaining here in regulation time. Icing waved off is Matta's on it. Up on the left side for Domi. Domi along with Griffith. Working their way in across. Back in for Griffith. Domi in front of the net. To the corner. But Dierette comes up with it. Mitchell Dierette, the Montreal native, will just shoot it in deep. Matta to the corner. Plays it right onto the stick to Laser. His shot ricochets off a player in front of the net. And it rolls to the corner. Now a long lead pass for Griffith. In across the line. Griffith in and out. And dribbles right to Niederberger. And he'll hang on for the faceoff.
Gotta hand it to this Barrie Colts team here in this game. You're down 2 of your top line forwards in Anthony Camara and Mark Scheifele, and they're holding their own against the firepower of the London Knights. Hats off to Niederberger in net. The Barrie Colts are doing what they have to do to put themselves in a position to create a comeback here in the 3rd.
Everybody up in tight, London. As Zadorov will play it into the corner for Lewiczka. Lepkowski, who has had an outstanding series here against the London Knights. Lemieux will just get it in. Here's Patterson out of his net. Round the boards, Barrie trying to clear the zone. Pops free. And O'Connor will play it here on the near side for Lepkowski. And across the line. They stay on side. Barrie to the corner. Boisset all over him. Zadorov in there as well. Bo Horvath trying to set it free. Can they get a whistle? Yes. So the face-off will be deep in London territory.
Greg, don't be surprised if we see the same few defensemen roll out here for the Barrie Colts. We're entering that territory. We're going to see a lot of O'Connor, Lepkowski, Ekblad, and Laser. They're going to keep those 4 rotating here in these last 3, less than 4 minutes now, and do what they can to just rely on those 4D guys, keep their youngsters on the bench.
Played around the boards, and here's Zadorov. Out through to center. Rice checked up by Anderson is Laser. He'll try to find Tierney, ushering it down the slot area, but Athanasiou can't get past Broderick. London's Anderson smartly will just dribble it in deep. Ekblad hammers it around the boards, knocked down by Tierney. Here's a chance for Chris Tierney. And a good defensive play by the Colts D as Bradford will send it out through to center ice. He'll work his way in across the line, trying to go coast to coast after that tremendous defensive play. And London will send it down. icing against the Knights.
The crowd's not going to like it, but it just squeaked across the red line there as another icing call comes up for the London Knights. We'll have a face-off just to the left of Jake Patterson. 2:56 left to go here in this third period of play.
Face-off deep in London territory. 45 shots directed at Niederberger as London controls the ball. Here's a chance, they score! And the Colts come back and tie this hockey game off the draw. And who else but Mitchell Theoret?
Yeah, we asked who's going to step up for this team, and it appears as though Mitchell Theoret's going to pick it up at the most important time. Less than 3 minutes to go. Right off the face-off there, Horvat wins it, it gets lost, and Theoret pounces all over it. Goes top shelf over the shoulder of Jake Patterson to tie this game up at 2-2. 2:53 left to go here in the third period for Theoret. His 14th goal of this postseason, his 4th goal of this series.
Well, we talked about these Colts. They never die. You gotta like them. That's Theoret as he did Saturday night. Gets the tying goal late in the third period. We still have 2:40 remaining. Now London Domi on the move. Back out. Here's picked off by Griffith. His shot knocked down. And Lepkowski plays it to the boards and to the line, but not out. Here's Bayer. Off the boards and sent down the length of the ice where icing is called against the Colts.
We mentioned it a number of times. Barrie was doing what they had to do to stick around. Theoret gets the goal that ties this game, but it's the guy at the other end of the ice, Niederberger, that kept them in this contest through those first 2 periods where London peppered him with 39 shots. They only have 7 shots here in this third period of play. Niederberger did that job for the first 2 periods, held them in it, and waited for his offense to do something.
Face off deep in Barrie territory as we approach the 2-minute mark remaining. Here's a chance out front, knocked down by Bradford, and the Colts are away. McDonald left side for Athanasiou. He'd love to get the winner now. McDonald in front, dips it. Oh, it's a save as Patterson. Boy, oh boy, that was close, Jeremy. They're waving it off.
Yeah, we're going to have to get another look at this one and see if it crossed the line at all. It looks as though the referee's going to go upstairs on this one. I know the Barrie Colts are celebrating right now. Let's take a look at the replay. McDonald out in front of the net, goes to his backhand. It hits the player out in front of the net. That's Bradford. McDonald gets a second swipe at it. Looks it goes off that crossbar and comes down. Lose track of it there on that replay. See if we can get an overhead shot of it. Here's the overhead angle of that replay. Goes up, hits the crossbar right there, comes down and goes underneath the pad of Jake Patterson. From that angle, doesn't look as though it crosses the line. It looks as though Patterson and Murmis do a good job of keeping that one out.
Very, very close. We'll wait for the official call, but it went off the crossbar as the Barrie Colts come very close.
The reaction says it all from the hometown crowd here at Budweiser Gardens. That one's waved off. We'll have a face-off to the left of Jake Patterson. 2:05 left to go. Dale Howardchuk wants an explanation on this. He could be asking about 2 things. 1, the puck never crossed the line. 2, did Dakota Murmis close his hand on the puck in the crease in order to keep that one out? That was another thing from that replay. It looked like he came down with it. Did he close his hand on the puck? That might be something Dale Howardchuk is asking right now as we get another look at that overhead shot. First save right there. Toe save. Great save by Patterson there. The next shot comes up, hits the crossbar, and then what happens from here could be what they're asking. They're pointing up at the clock, up at the scoreboard as it's showing here at the Gardens. Murmis comes down. Does he put his hand on the puck? You can't really tell from that angle. Face off to the left, 2:05 left to go here in the third.
What could you ask? More out of a game 7, 2:05 remaining here in regulation time. Tied at 2. As the Colts off the draw again, trying to get the go-ahead goal. But all Barrie in this third period. Mind you, London's had a couple opportunities. They get it in deep. Here's the Rupert. In behind the Barrie net, he'll try to find Horvat, goes back to the line. Horvat just keeps it in, and it's broken up by McDonald. Left side for Athanasiou. Dumps it in deep, Zadorov. Around the boards for Ferry. Bo Horvat trying to get it in across the line. Is that too many men? No, play continues. As it moves up through the center ice. Bouncing puck at the line, but here goes Fawcett trying to find a man. Byers with the shot and hits Hughes' stick, and it goes out of play.
Close call there for the Barrie Colts along the bench side. 9,000 people here in the stands thought it was too many men. You can see puck comes on, player goes off, Barrie gets off on the too many men call. 2-2 the score, 1:21 left to go here in the third.
Lots of face-offs in London's territory here in period 3. Rupert, Tierney, and Domi as the Knights will control. Ole Mata plays it up on the left side. Chris Tierney, he's been a hero a couple times in these playoffs. Once against Saginaw and once against the Kitchener Rangers. Hughes, left side. Tierney and across the line. O'Connor having all kinds of trouble with Tierney. Domi following up on the plays for inside a minute. Here's Domi trying to waltz his way out. Lepkowski checks him up and Byers has it. David Byers, left side for Mitchell Theoret, chucks it toward the net. Blocker saved by Patterson. Now sent back line. Lepkowski couldn't get the shot away. Went off the heel with a stick. And Domi will race down the left wing. Here's Max Domi in and out. Sweeps it toward the net. What a save by Niederberger to get his pad out. Here's Griffin. Horvat, shot. And Niederberger covers it up.
Matthias Niederberger, another great save at the Barrie Colts end. Griffith with a nice feed right there to Horvat, takes the snapshot. Niederberger holds his ground, gathers up the rebound. No second chance opportunities there for Max Domi on the doorstep.
Just 24 seconds remaining. And we'll have overtime in game 7. But a big face-off in Barrie territory. Everybody up in tight London. Horvat wins it cleanly back to the line, but Mata can't keep it in. As McDonald hustled to the line to play it out. 14 seconds remaining. Here, and Horvat almost checking up Ekblad as it's sprung back in. 4 seconds, one more chance to be London. Chance in front, dip! He scored! No, they wave it off! What?
This one, it looks on the ice that Bo Horvat may have just won this game for the London Knights. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Alex Broadhurst with the feed out in front of the net. Horvat looks like that puck goes in the net. No green light on there. Puck is in the net, no green light on. It looks as though that could be a good goal, and Bo Horvat could have just scored the goal that takes this London Knights team to its second straight Memorial Cup. You see it there. The first one off the post stayed out. It looked as though after it went off the post, it crossed that line. That overhead angle is going to be key here as the video goal judge gets a look at it upstairs.
1.1 seconds remaining. 9,100 strong are waiting the call. See it on the replay. We'll take a look at it again, Jeremy.
We'll take a look at it as we slow it down. As it comes across the line, you can see the black goes over the red there. There's a little bit of white. in my opinion, that's a good goal. The green light was not on. That's a good goal. In my opinion, Bo Horvat has just scored a goal to win the OHL Championship for the London Knights. We'll see if the video goal judge is seeing the same thing.
They are taking plenty enough time, as this crowd will erupt if it's called a goal with only 0.1 seconds remaining. Unbelievable here at the Gardens tonight.
Take a look at it one more time. It goes off the side of the post, comes across the line, squeaks past right before Niederberger's able to get his hand in there and pull it back out. From that angle, it appears as though Bo Horvat has scored with 0.1 second left to go in the third period. What an ending it would be to this Game 7.
They are still checking it out. 9,100 on their feet here at the Gardens, waiting for the decision. But by the replay, you would think it's a good goal.
The key to this, though, is the referee waved it off on the ice.
Right.
So you need indisputable evidence that the puck was in the net. We'll have to see if the video goal judge decided that way or not. If the goal was on the ice of a goal, you just have to confirm that it's a goal. Here, you have to confirm that yes, it's a good goal because it was waved off on the ice by the referee. So you have to have irrefutable evidence upstairs. It looks on that replay like it's a goal. 9,000 fans here at Budweiser Gardens are saying it is.
Kendrick Nicholson and Mike Parent are the referees tonight, and they still are talking to the video goal judge. And man, oh man, what tension here at the Gardens with 0.1 seconds remaining. Have you ever seen anything like it, this series? Colts coming back, and now we're going to get the call, I think. Hang on, London.
Could you have written a better ending to a Game 7 here in the OHL Championship Series? Bo Horvat scores with 0.1 second left to go in the third period to send the London Knights to their second straight Memorial Cup and give them their second straight OHL championship.
Never in my life have I seen a series like this. In all the years I've been doing the call in the OHL, and the London Knights with 0.1 seconds, as Jeremy just explained, beat the Barrie Colts. There you see it again. Horvat knew it.
Yeah, Horvat could see it just crossed that line. He knew he had just scored the goal that was going to win the OHL championship for the London Knights. Hats off to that guy on your screen, Matthias Niederberger. Unbelievable series, unbelievable Game 7 for him, keeping this Barrie Colts depleted lineup in this series.
Well, the London Knights, after being down 3 games to 1, were back here last Friday night on national TV. Win that game and then win it in overtime in Barrie on Saturday night after giving up 4 goals in the third period. Mitchell Theoret game tying this hockey game for the Barrie Colts. What a trooper he is. What a soldier on the ice. Is that he played in the final last year with the Niagara Ice Dogs, you remember correctly.
Yeah, this is the second straight time that Mitchell Theoret is going to watch the London Knights hoist that trophy here at Budweiser Gardens, as it's back-to-back heartbreak for him. Dale Howardchuk has to be happy with the way that his team played tonight. Depleted lineup without Anthony Camara, without Mark Scheifele. They did what they had to do to stay in this game. Solid goaltending by Niederberger. They kept in it. They stayed with this London Knights team, scored the goal to tie it up at 2. A late goal by Bo Horvat is a heartbreaker, though, for the Barrie Colts.
What can you say about this Barrie Colts hockey club? Boy, they played outstanding. Niederberger. Sounds like Mark has Bo Horvat, the hero, tonight at the Bud.
Congratulations on that game-winning goal. Who would have imagined a Game 7, let alone scoring it basically 19:59 in the third period, Bo?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We played an unbelievable game tonight. They played an unbelievable game tonight. It was a great battle, great series, and we're just happy to come out with our second straight there. It was unbelievable.
You scored a goal early in the contest as well, so it was a terrific evening for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I couldn't have done it without all those guys over there, and we just played an unbelievable game, and a little bit of luck, and it was on our side, and we're just unbelievably happy right now.
Did you know right away that it was going to be a good goal, based both on the fact that it crossed the line and the time left on the clock?
Yeah, for sure. I thought I saw it go across the line, and right then and there, I kind of went crazy, and you know, it was kind of you know, nerve-wracking, you know, listening to the crowd and everything. But you know, we're just really happy we got the win.
One more quick question for you. Now you're off to Saskatoon, try to win that Memorial Cup that you obviously failed to win last year.
Yeah, definitely. That was our goal from the beginning of the year, to get back there, and you know, it was disappointing last year, and now we're going to battle hard and try to win it this year.
Yeah, go celebrate with your teammates, Bo.
Thank you.
Well, Bo Horvat, what a series he had. 7 goals, I believe, Jeremy, in this series, and he's got to be a candidate for the MVP.
Yeah, you'd have to think. Scoring a goal like that, the series that Bo Horvat has had, 7 goals in this series, 16 goals in the postseason, and the one that meant the most with just 0.1 second left to go in this game, as you see the London Knights celebrating their second straight OHL championship. Let's head back down to Mark Schadenberg with the head coach, Dale Hunter.
Yeah, Dale, being both of you president and head coach of this team, what's it mean to be able to win a Game 7, let alone the way it was, a terrific finish?
Well, it's awesome to win. We know how hard it is to win. It's hard to get here to win it, and with 1 second left, that's unbelievable, and it's a great achievement by these young men.
Was one of the objects of tonight's game to maybe get as many shots as possible on Niederberger, because you had well over 40 shots in the game?
Yeah, he's a good goalie. We all know that. They came out and played hard, and we just kept putting pucks in the net, and eventually one went in.
What about the overall concept of this team, the way you can roll 4 lines, the depth on the defense? It really did take 18 skaters plus 2 goalies, didn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, this is hard on these kids. They play 7 games at 11 nights. They love playing games, so it's easy, but they need all 4 lines and all 6D going every night.
You start scouting the Saskatoon Blades immediately after this contest when you go back to the dressing room?
I don't know. We'll start tomorrow morning.
Yeah, thanks, Dale Hunter, a champion. Congratulations. Enjoy the victory back upstairs.
Okay, Mark, and thanks a lot as Dale Hunter, he celebrates his 2nd consecutive appearance now at the Memorial Cup. Mind you, Mark was behind the bench last year, but Dale was certainly an influence. Let's go down to the PA.
Of the 2012 Rogers OHL playoffs and the Robertson Cup, emblematic of the championship of the Ontario Hockey League. The Wayne Gretzky 99 Award Trophy is named in honor of Wayne Gretzky, a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame and one of the league's most esteemed graduates. The award was created shortly after the Great One announced his retirement from hockey in 1999 to honor the most valuable player in the OHL playoffs as selected by members of the media. Mr. Branch.
The first order of business, of course, is the 99 award. I would imagine all of you might vote for this young man. 3 game-winning goals in this series alone. A good Southwestern Ontario boy. Bo Horvat. I think before we proceed, I'm sure as well you would all agree that this Rogers OHL Championship Series took on a very special game in terms of the competition, the quality of play, the passion, the never say die attitude of both the Barrie Colts and the London Knights. Congratulations. This is the 2nd consecutive OHL championship for the London Knights. First and foremost, congratulations to the players, their families, all you fans that make London so very special. To Mark and Dale Hunter, owners, to Trevor Whiffen, the governor, to the staff. It's truly an outstanding franchise that we are all in the CHL so very proud of. And I'd like now to call upon Scott Harrington for the OHL Championship Trophy.
Scotty Harrington waltzing the Robertson Cup around, and the OHL champions again for the second consecutive OHL season. Windsor Spitfires did it back in 2009, 2010, and now the London Knights in 12 and 2013, Jeremy.
Yeah, and what a special moment it is for those players that won't be back next year. The Tommy Hugheses, the Tyler Ferries, the overage players on this team. As Scott Harrington passes it off to one of those overagers, Tommy Hughes, who goes out a champion in the Ontario Hockey League, winning a second straight OHL title.
Let's send it back down to Mark.
With Brett Wilitzki, as a Londoner, what's it mean to you to be able to win a back-to-back OHL championship?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, last year I wasn't playing in the game that we wanted, but this year there's definitely something else, and it's like I said, it's unbelievable, and it's great for everybody in the city of London.
You certainly made your contributions this time. You scored 1 goal in each of Game 4, Game 5, and Game 6 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to contribute there, and I'm proud I did so, and it's not just it's the whole team. We all played well, and it came down to the very last goal there, and I'm glad we got it.
You're always thinking about the first things first, but now you can start thinking about going to the Memorial Cup. What's it going to mean to make the trip to Saskatoon?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a crazy trip, and we were there last year, and we know what we have to do now. So that's going to be on our minds.
Thanks, Brett. Enjoy the championship.
Thank you.
Kind of like Wilitzki scoring 4 goals in this series. We would call him a depth player for sure, Jeremy. And, he came a long way, played under the Hunters rules, if you will, bid his time. Like he said, didn't play in last year's final, and he contributed big time in this final.
Yeah, depth players have been huge for the London Knights in this postseason. They'll be big as they head to Saskatoon for the Memorial Cup. I see Mark back downstairs with another one of those depth players, Ryan Rupert.
Ryan Rupert, 5 goals and 4 assists in the series. You got to be happy with your offensive production.
Yeah, it's nice to help out the team and just to get things going like that. And it was a hard-fought series with Barrie. It took us 7 hard ones. We just squeaked it out there in the last second.
Talk about just generally the pressure of playing in a game number 7 with everything all on the line for the OHL title.
We just kept composed the first 2 periods and kind of sat back again in the third, but gave up that goal and kind of got down. But luckily, both squeaked that one and a hell of a game in the series for him.
Game 6, Jeremy, he scores 5 points.
Yeah, unbelievable playoffs, unbelievable last couple of games for Ryan Rupert. Picked up that overtime winner in Game 6. He was the reason why we were here tonight for a Game 7. It's those depth players for the London Knights. They keep rolling 4 lines, and any one of those lines can score a goal at any point in a series.
And it's the depth players, and it comes from the coaching staff of the London Knights. They create a culture where you have to earn ice time each and every night. If you don't do it their way, you know where you're going to be, and everyone has bought into the team game plan. Let's send it back down to Mark.
With Max Domi here post-game, you really seem to take charge maybe offensively of this hockey club after Seth Griffith got injured late in the regular season. And of course, you led the team in the playoffs as well. Talk about the postseason performance for the Knights and yourself.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, the team we have here is it's ridiculous how much character is in that locker room. And we're very resilient, and we didn't take no for an answer. So all year long, we've been able to battle back and just put on a clinic. I mean, we've been unbelievable, and as a team, we couldn't be happier right now.
A lot of people say you were developing yourself as a real sniper and a real goal scorer, but you coming into this game, you only had 1 goal and 6 assists. So you had 3 assists in the last game, so you're really helping on the offense that way.
Hey, whatever it takes to win hockey games, and there's a new guy that step ups every game, and Bo was unbelievable this series. I mean, I can't go on enough about him. He's been unbelievable all year long, and he just really showed how good he can really be, and we're so happy right now.
Thanks a lot, and congratulations. Go enjoy the championship.
Thanks a lot.
What a playoff Max Domi, I'm going to say Ty Domi, what a playoff Max Domi had. He made this crowd stand up many a time throughout the season, but notably in Plymouth, or here, as the Knights ousted Plymouth in Game 5, scoring that overtime winner. And boy, did he put some points up on the board. I believe he was second, just behind Shifley at 2 points.
Yeah, just behind Shifley, 32 points now in 21 games for Max Domi in this postseason. But like Mark said, Only one goal in this series, but he did it with his assists. He did it by setting up his line mates because they were paying some extra attention to Max Domi.
And that's where I'm going to when I talked about the Hunters and their coaching abilities. They get Domi, a player of his ability, buying into that team game. Back down the mark.
With Alex Broadhurst, you assisted on the Ole Mata goal, and of course the one by Bo Horvat at 1959. Maybe take us through that goal, because some people might say, well, there's 7 seconds left in the clock, we'll get ready for overtime, but you guys kept on going.
Yeah, I mean, they scored pretty late, and that was kind of a heartbreaker, but we never let down on it at all. We kept battling hard, and it was a good play. The defenseman tried chipping it up the boards. I blocked it, and I saw Griffey going to the net, and their D-man poked it, and Bo buried it. So kind of just a playoff goal, and it was a huge goal for us, obviously.
You had a terrific playoff last year with Green Bay. What's this mean to come to the Ontario Hockey League and win a championship here with the London Knights?
Oh, it's an unbelievable feeling. Definitely the best moment of my life so far. I mean, I won 2 championships in 2 different leagues. I mean, it's hard for people to say they could do that, and it was a pretty cool experience both years, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, thanks a lot, and go ahead and enjoy the trophy here.
Thank you.
Okay, there you see Bo Horvat, the MVP of these Ontario Hockey League playoffs. And boy, I tell you, Jeremy, well-deserved to say the least.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. You know, we talk about his goal-scoring ability, but it's the rest of the stuff that Bo Horvat does in each and every game that's really crucial to this London Knights squad. You saw it in the third period. He was out there for almost every defensive zone face-off. It shows the trust that Dale Hunter and the rest of his coaching staff have in Bo Horvat at both the offensive end of the ice and the defensive.
Bo Horvat, along with all the London Knights, celebrating still on the ice, and you see the traditional picture. That's one of the best by far pictures in sport that you see. The London Knights, the 2013 OHL champions, and boy, oh boy, they keep the crowds happy here in London. Let me tell you, we sat up here, we didn't say a word, not a whisper, and the crowd just takes it home for you. 9,100 strong as usual here at the Gardens.
Could you ask for anything else from a Game 7? A goal with 0.1 second left to go in the game to win an OHL championship. Game 7 was everything that we could have hoped it was going to be.
Yeah, it's truly, as I mentioned, in all the years I've been doing this, I've never seen a Game 7 like this that displayed so much character for both hockey clubs. Boy, the Barrie Colts have just as much character as these London Knights. And we're going to try to take a look at the goal. We'll have to turn around for our monitor. Well, I guess Scotty's down there with Mark Schadenberg. Scott Harrington.
Yeah.
Have Scott Harrington here, and you're holding the trophy. What's it mean to have that J. Ross Robertson Cup 2 years in a row?
It's unbelievable. I couldn't ask for more. I never expected having this much success heading into the OHL 4 years ago, but it's been unbelievable, and can't say enough about the job that the Hunters did, and Jeff, Paul, Dylan, all the coaches we've had, and it's guys did a heck of a job this year, and it's nice that obviously we won it again.
Year in and year out, the roster really has that depth in the lineup to be able to, for example, Austin Watson goes and Jared Tenorti goes, but you fill a few holes and you win another championship.
Yeah, no, we lost a lot of key guys last year, guys that meant a lot to our hockey club, but at the same time, we had a lot of young guys last year that did a great job for us, and they stepped up and did an even bigger job for us, and we had some young guys come in, and some guys, we brought in through trades and signings late in the season, and did a good job of coming together as a team, and we did a great job here.
Unfinished business now in Saskatchewan?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, that's not really what we were talking about before this. We just wanted to get there, but I mean, I think all 4 teams that are heading there, it's their goal to win it. And obviously, coming so close last year, definitely be nice to get that opportunity again.
Thanks for joining us, Scott. Enjoy it with the team in the dressing room.
Thank you.
Well, probably, Jeremy, that's the last time London fans will see Scotty Harrington here at Budweiser Gardens. He'll be on to the Pittsburgh Penguins or their AHL affiliate, and what a career he's had here in London.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of 2 straight championships for the London Knights. Scott Harrington is that staple on defense. He's your defensive defenseman that just stays back in his own zone. He blocks shots. He does a great job out in front of the net. And he was the leader on this team. He may be not as vocal as some of the other leaders that we've seen, but in that dressing room, he was the guy that these guys turned to when they needed a boost.
Let's have one more look at that game-winning goal with 0.1 seconds remaining here in the third period.
Yeah, an unbelievable goal that was waved off on the ice, but after review, counts. You see it go off the side of the post, and then it crosses the line just before the buzzer goes right there, and you get the point. Bo Horvat loved it. As soon as that point happened, he went nuts, and so did 9,000 strong here.
The OHL champion London Knights will play Saskatoon Blades on Friday night to open up the Memorial Cup. Saskatoon has been out of the playoffs for about six weeks or so, and they'll be ready to play London.
Yeah, and London will be ready for them. They'll be riding high, riding the momentum of an OHL championship victory. So London's got to party tonight, celebrate, and then get back to work. You got a big game on Friday.
Yeah, today's Monday. Friday's only 3 or 4 days away. Get refocused, but they sure can celebrate tonight. You know, a lot of people put in a lot of work in these broadcasts. This young man right here, Jeremy Parking. Rick Doyle, of course, has been around all season, has been around for the last 10 years. I want to thank all the volunteers out in the truck who do an outstanding job of volunteering. Remind you, they are volunteers and they do incredible work in putting these broadcasts together. And we have probably one of the best producers in all the OHL, and Chris Burkholz, doing our hockey games here on Rogers TV. So for the final time this season, we'll be watching it on Sportsnet. Greg Sloan and Jeremy Parking bidding you a good night from Budweiser Gardens. The wrap is next. Don't forget about it. Pete will be with you. And go Knights go at the Memorial Cup.